This is a true-life African story. May God rest the soul of Auntie Kimi. Kimi was the first child in a family of 4. Her father was a Nigerian soldier stationed at the military barracks on the outskirts of Lagos. They lived in a small army flat, 2 bedrooms, peeling walls, and the constant sound of boots marching outside. It wasn't luxury, but to the children, it felt safe. Kimi learned early what discipline meant. Her father was strict. By 9 p.m., lights were off. By midnight, he did patrol checks inside their flat, opening bedroom doors quietly to ensure his children were tucked in bed. But Kimi was sharp. By age 14, she had mastered a dangerous trick. She owned a giant teddy bear, almost life-sized. At night, she would cover the teddy with a blanket, shape it to mimic a sleeping body, and then slide out through the bedroom window to meet friends in the streets. Every time her father opened the door at midnight, he would see the figure under the blanket and whisper, "Good night, my daughter." And Kimi would be out there, laughing, talking, roaming the streets of the barracks as other teenagers did. She never imagined how quickly her world would change. One afternoon, loud knocks hit their door. 2 military officers stood there, faces tight with tension. Their father had died during a training accident. The world stopped. Their mother collapsed to the floor, screaming uncontrollably. Kimi just stood frozen. She was barely 15, yet she became the head of the family that very day. Not long after, the army sent them out of the barracks. With the breadwinner gone, housing rights were gone too. They moved into a cramped face-me-I-face-you compound in Lagos. Life became survival. Kimi saw hunger in her mother's eyes, fear in her younger siblings' faces, and desperation everywhere. School didn't matter anymore. Food mattered. Rent mattered. Responsibility mattered. Kimi began hustling with friends at night again, but this time not for fun. For money. She worked bars, cleaned clubs, carried bottles for tips. When small money stopped feeding the family, she entered darker waters. Men from clubs began taking her home. Offering cash she handed over entirely to her mother. Soon it wasn't only clubs. One terrible day, a friend convinced her to visit the docks. Foreign sailors came and went, always spending heavily for fleeting pleasures. Kimi boarded ships, sailed out into the deep waters of temptation and survival. Night after night, she sold pieces of her dignity just to keep her family alive. She paid house rent, bought food, paid her siblings' school fees. Her life became one sacrifice after another. But nobody ever knew what she did. She wore makeup to hide tears, smiles to hide pain. Years passed. Kimi's brother finished secondary school. She paid every fee. Her sister followed, paid again. They both gained university admission. The burden grew heavier, but Kimi didn't complain. She only hustled harder. She sent money whenever they called. "Big sis, we need textbooks." She sent. "Sis, our hostel payment is due." She sent. even when she barely had money for food herself. While her younger ones built bright futures, Kimi drank. First it was just to sleep peacefully after nights of shame. Then it became every night. Alcohol became the only thing strong enough to numb her pain. Her brother graduated as a lawyer. Her sister became a medical doctor. A celebration that Kimi funded completely. Yet she was not invited to the graduation ceremony. They were too busy. They started answering calls less. Sending messages became delayed. Then stopped. Meanwhile, Kimi's addiction worsened. She stopped eating. Only drank alcohol. Her body became thin. Her voice weak. Her smile faded. Neighbors noticed. Her mother came to Lagos to rescue her, crying, pleading, "Kimi, please stop drinking." For a short time, Kimi tried. But the weight of her sacrifices crushed her soul. The alcohol pulled her back stronger. She began begging people just to buy drinks. Her siblings knew where she lived. They never visited. Never sent money. Never checked her health. Years passed. One morning, no one saw Kimi outside. Her door remained locked. Neighbors forced it open. They found her lying on the floor, lifeless. Her empty bottle nearby. Her eyes open, frozen. Her mother wailed uncontrollably when she arrived. Her son and daughter never showed up, not even for the burial. The community buried Kimi in a small cemetery. No big coffin. No eulogy. No tribute from the children she raised. Just silence. For a woman whose life was one long scream of sacrifice. Final morals. Not everyone you suffer for will remember your pain. Some hearts grow where sacrifice planted seeds. Others forget the gardener. The strongest shoulders often carry loads no one ever thanks them for. Kimi gave her youth. She gave her dignity. She gave her strength. She gave everything. And in the end, she was forgotten. Dedication. This story is real. For Auntie Kimi, a woman whose sacrifice gave others wings. May God grant your gentle soul perfect peace.